I've been teaching preschool for 16 years now, and I'm a mom of 5 children. I'm going to be sharing with you the top 5 things you should be doing with your child before they go to preschool. And it might not be what you think. Letters and numbers are great, shapes and colors, of course, but not that. Tip number 1, give your child experiences. Experiences are how your child learns about the world around them. It's what gives preschoolers the symbolic thought to be able to interact with dramatic play. When they're playing and pretending, they have to draw from the experiences that they've had in their lives. So take them to the zoo, let them play in the mud, go to a baseball game, anything at all that gets them learning about the world around them. When you're outside of your day-to-day environment, you're always going to be learning new language and vocabulary as well. Which leads me to tip number 2, and I'm sure you've heard this before, but this is probably the most important one. Read to your child every night. There's something called the 30 million word gap, where children who haven't been read to or haven't had those experiences have heard 30 million less words by the time they turn 4 years old. Vocabulary and language are very closely connected to reading and academic success. The importance of talking with your child and reading with them and asking questions when you read cannot be stressed enough. So if there's only one thing you do on this list, read to your child every night. Tip number 3, let them be bored. It's actually good that you don't entertain your child at all times. This also means limit screen time. Children can be very creative, they can be very imaginative, but they need that time to self-regulate. If they are being entertained at all times or given a screen when they're in the car or in a grocery cart, or at a restaurant, they're not going to learn those skills on how to control their emotions, how to self-regulate. So it's really important that you're not just handing a screen, and also that you're not entertaining at all times. Now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be getting on the floor and playing with your child. There's definitely benefits to that, but you don't have to do it always. When children turn 3 and 4 years old, they can start to play independently. It's okay to let them be bored and figure it out. Tip number 4, this might be a tough one. Tell your child no and give them consequences. It's fairly obvious to me as a teacher when I have a child who comes into my classroom who maybe has not been told no, who has not had consequences. These students come in thinking that they can do whatever they want, they can have what they want when they want it, and they're very hard to teach. Now, preschool students are naturally very me-focused, and that's not what I'm talking about. But when a student's coming into my class with 22 students, you do have to know that you're not going to get everything you want. Sometimes you have to wait, sometimes you have to share, sometimes you think it might not be fair. You can't throw a tantrum over it. Personally, I hate that the word no is being taken out of our vocabulary. Now, that doesn't mean you should be saying no, no, no all day long, but it's okay. Some things are a no. For example, if you're at home and your child is throwing a fit over not getting their tablet, don't give them their tablet and take it away for the day. That's an example of how a consequence can match an action. An example of this at school is in our classroom we have free choice centers, but you can clean up and go to a new center whenever you want. But it's your job to clean up before you move to a new center. I had a student that really loved the block center, but every day he would leave it a giant mess. And so I told him, if this happens again, you're not going to be allowed back in the block center tomorrow. And so it took about 2 times before he realized I was serious, and he would beg, please let me go back in the back block center. I promise I'll clean it up. And I said, no, that's your consequence. If you don't clean up your mess, you're not going to be allowed back in there. And so after those 2 consequences that he got the rest of the year, that was his favorite center, and he cleaned it up for me. Tip number 5 is all about fine motor. Those are the small muscles in a child's hands. It's really important that these muscles get strengthened before a child learns to write. So my favorite fine motor activity is actually Play-Doh. They're squishing and squeezing and pressing, really working those muscles. This is also one of my favorites. It's called Theraputty. And actually the pink color I think is perfect for preschoolers. They have different consistency depending on the color. But I love to hide gems in there. You can also string beads, put Cheerios over noodles. You can practice scissor skills, use hole punchers. Anything at all that you're using those small muscles in your hands is really important to work on before coming to preschool. Okay, and I know I said 5 tips, but I'm actually going to give a bonus, number 6, because it's so important. Number 6 is self-help skills. This means potty training. If you have a typical child, you really should be potty training them and having them be independent before they come to preschool. I promise you, your preschool teacher will thank you for it. But zipping their coats, putting on their own clothes. Here at preschool, we practice pouring our own juice, cleaning up their own messes, blowing their nose, coughing into their elbow. So all of the self-help skills are super important to practice before coming to preschool. I hope this helps.